Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How you guys doing? We are here for the hashtag movie and stitch, and you found out 2 weeks ago that my movie is Ghoulies, which I've got queued up here, and my less than usual messy desk is still messy, but yeah. I ran out last week, so I started a new ball of the Karen Jumbo in the color Plum Copper. That's the center of my squares. I've got a hook at the ready here and my movie. I've got some water, and I have my project here chilling, so I know which squares I'm making tonight. And then I have my feet up and this happening, but we'll talk about that situation in a different video. But yeah, so we're gonna get to it, and I'm gonna watch this movie and come back to you with the review. For anybody who may not have seen Ghoulies before, I highly suggest it if you're into horrible 80s movies. I believe this movie was made in 1987, but I might be wrong. I will fact check that before I come back to you. And yeah, if you're watching along with me, enjoy the show. I'm not sure if you can find it anywhere online. I obviously have a hard copy of mine, but if you do know where it's at online, let me know. It may be chiller, but I don't know about that. I don't have that subscription service, so surprisingly, I am gonna get it, but not right now. But yeah, if you have the DVD or if you know where this is available, let me know. Watch along, and I will see you later. Bye, guys. I did forget to mention that if anybody was curious, my pumpkin cookie candle it's my candle tonight, if I could speak, is pumpkin cookie dough from Bath & Body Works. So I just recently lit that bad boy up, and it smells really good. I love the fall scents, as you know, so. But we're not here for candles, we're here for crochet, right? So I will be quiet and get back to you guys once I'm done. Talk to you later, guys. This time I mean it. Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How you guys doing? This is, I don't know what number week it is, but it is the G through H hashtag movie and stitch video. I already showed you in the intro which movie it was that I was watching, which is the first Ghoulies. There's my DVD again so that you can remember what the movie poster looks like. That will be important later. And also it gives you an idea of just how wonderfully cheesy this movie was, right? So I did look it up, and I believe Ghoulies 2 was what I was thinking of when I said 87. Ghoulies was actually made in 84. This movie makes me laugh. Like, I know it is a horror movie, but it was, it's a horror movie almost like removed. Like, I think when it came out, Gremlins was also considered a horror movie. I consider it a Christmas movie. If you've seen it, you probably know why. But it's not, I don't want to say it's not scary, because other people do find things like that scary. I have a friend, Jamie, who can't watch anything. Like, I joke about Damon not being able to, but Jamie can't watch anything like scary at all. Even remotely considered scary, and he cannot watch it. So I don't want to like make it sound like, you know, to me it's not scary. Let me put it that way. But to me it's not, because when I was, 5, 6, 7 years old, my mom had me watching horror movies. I grew up with Jason and Michael and Freddy, and that explains some things about me today, I'm sure, but I mean, I'm just saying it was the beginning of like when Ghoulies came out in 84, it was the beginning of like this this type of movie, because there was like Ghoulies, there was Gremlins, there was Critters. I feel like there was one more big one, but there was and those were the bigger horror movies of the time. So I mean, then there were like other random ones basically that, you know, like even the 80s had their indie B movie type things too, right? Even though we consider them more B movies now, period. But so to review the movie, and I'm probably gonna like giggle through it because like I said, I'm totally desensitized to this. I will still warn you if you are scared of things like that or offended, because the 80s were slightly a different time, especially like media-wise, movie-wise and stuff. If you're offended by things, just be warned. But honestly, if you're offended by things, you're probably not watching me. Because, yeah. Anyway, so like the beginning, I won't give away the ending. I won't spoil it in case any of you guys do want to go on like an 80s horror bender. Which if you do, I highly do suggest Ghoulies. I love this movie. It doesn't matter if I'm about to make fun of it or if I'm about to say silly things about it, because it is just a combination of me being desensitized to it and just me not trying to offend anybody. But like the movie opens up with like a backstory scene of the guy who ends up being the main character's father. But the guy is like this heavy duty into black magic, satanic-y stuff. Like the word Satan never popped up that I can remember, but I mean, if you're gonna, like a lot of people consider anything not Christian to be satanic. I won't even talk about my views on that. But it's a lot of black magic type stuff. And he's doing like this ritual, and like you can really tell like the effects from the 80s are like terrible, because like his eyes glow green and they tried to insert like pupils, but like there's nothing wrong with the guy's normal pupils, but when the green light gets put on it, his pupils looking like this way and like that way. Like that's the level of cheesy that we're getting into, just so you're prepared. But so like it's this big scene. They are going to attempt to sacrifice a baby, his own baby actually, for some powers, and that gets thwarted. And the caretaker guy, there's like a caretaker for the baby that's in their little cult, and he runs off with the baby. And then start of the movie, you know, it's X amount of years later, and the kid's grown up, and he comes, like the guy, the dad had died, and the kid inherited this big house of his and everything. And slowly, like, things start getting revealed to him. Like, him and his girlfriend move in, and the first thing they see is, like, this big library. And in the library, they're flipping through books, and it's books like the Grimoire of Dark Arts and the Black Magic Manual and things like that. So, like, it's kind of like a smack in the face right away. Like, hey, kid, here's the weird stuff your dad was into. They don't really beat around the bush with that. But so this guy like delves deeper and deeper in, like in the basement, he finds like some of his dad's artifacts and his dad's like ceremonial robe and things like that. And he starts getting like kind of sucked in, and it's almost like he's getting like possessed. And you come to find out later he is, by the spirit of his dad, who was trying to come back and get his youth back by finishing the sacrifice, even though his kid's all grown up now. I won't give away what happened, but most 80s horror movies did have happy endings, right? So unless they were like a to be continued thing, so I'll leave it at that. But partway through, they just decided to like throw a party, and in this party they like they're literally like having dinner guests over and then having an actual like party, like drinking beer, music, 80s teen party kind of stuff. And they're like, I know what to do. Let's go down to the basement and I have something to show you guys. And he gets down there and he just like straight up just like starts drawing symbols in chalk on the floor and like tries to summon a demon. So I'm sure his friends were like, okay, let's go. But for the sake of the movie and for the sake of, we'll say they got taken over by some kind of force, they end up staying. And he does end up summoning the Ghoulies, which are the namesake of the show. And if I can find pictures of them, they're like basically in the movie, they're like little, like almost like little Muppets. They're not like animated. Well, it's an animated Muppet, I guess, but they're not like cartoon. They're not special effects. They're like Jim Henson Muppet type effects. And like, to me, like, okay, just the cover of the second one has some of the other Ghoulies on it. And like, this is where you find out how weird I am. But like, to me, these guys are adorable. Like, I find the creepiest one to be the main one, who's in the, like him. He kind of creeped me out. He creeped me out as a kid too. But all the other ones, there's like, I don't know, just little like, one's almost like cat-like and one is almost like bat-like, but they're like monstery. And like, when I was a kid, I wanted to have a pet ghoulie. I wanted to have a pet critter. Critters was almost my C movie, in fact, except my favorite movie is The Conjuring, so it ended up taking precedence. But so the Ghoulies were like super cute, and they're basically like, when the guy did summon them, he instructed them to stay invisible to everyone but him. And they did, so they could basically like do his bidding, like kind of like behind the scenes. But his bidding ended up being like causing harm to people. So obviously they had to show themselves eventually and stuff. Plot twists and making sense didn't really go hand in hand in a lot of 80s horror movies, I don't think, like especially the cheesier ones, like maybe like Michael Myers, he came, those plots came together, and like after a couple movies, Jason's plot kind of got its stuff together. And I think Freddy Krueger's was always pretty together, like it wasn't just let's throw this in for the sake of it because it'll sound cool. Like it probably was, but they did it better. In my opinion, they did it more cohesively. But so the Ghoulies were running around like wreaking havoc, and like there was a dinner scene where, since they couldn't be seen by the guests were they came and they had another like dinner party when the guy had gotten just like full blown into the dark art magic stuff, and he was being like really weird and really creepy and stuff. And the dinner guests are all sitting around, and the only person that can see these Ghoulies is the main guy. And like his guests are like, oh, this tastes good, and oh, this is so good, what is in here, and everything. And then flash to what the guy sees, and it's like inside of the roast, something's eating its way from the inside out, and it's a ghoulie. And then like coming up from there's like a fondue pot or something, and coming out of the fondue is a ghoulie. Like, so they're just like being little terroristic, if you haven't seen this, but you've seen Gremlins, think about like the bad Gremlins. They're just causing like mischief, basically. But they're so cute. Like, they are cute. I love these little guys. I wish they made like little stuffed animals. I wonder if they do. I'm gonna have to look into that. But yeah, we ended up with a happy ending, but I won't give it away. His dad does try to come back from the dead and get his powers back. And, another thing I wanted to mention that was pretty funny. I did skip past this by accident. So in the movie, there are two, dwarfs that are actually played by, midgets. And, the guy's girlfriend doesn't want any part of this. Like, she sees him getting weirder and weirder. And at one point, she's just kind of like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like, we're done. We're like, she tried to break up with him. And then she came back the next night and was like, you know what? I want to work things out. And then like literally in the same like moment, he got really weird again with her. So she was like, yep, and we're done. I'm out. Goodbye. Peace. And so she left him, and he's like calling out like, I'll stop all this. I'll change, you know, no more of this. And like the second she leaves, his answer was to use black magic and summon these two dwarfs to do his bidding. So that's how much like sense is really thrown into these movies. But it is, despite the fact that I'm making fun of it, it is an entertaining movie. Like, it's really funny. I do really, really like it. I am absolutely going to watch the second one again since I have the set. There's also a third. I think there's a fourth one. I don't have the fourth one, but I do have the third one. So I probably end up watching those this week. So that was my G movie. Now, a couple of facts that I found. I already told you guys it was a 1984 movie. And I've shown you the poster, and I said to remember that that's going to come into play later. So when this film was released, apparently a bunch of angry moms like wrote angry letters to the studio, because they said that their kids obviously didn't watch the movie. I don't think most parents let their kids watch horror movies like my mom did, but their kids were afraid to use the bathroom and sit on the toilet after they saw this movie poster because of the ghoulie in the toilet. Coincidentally, I didn't write this one down, but ghoulie is a Persian word. Persian? I'm pretty sure it was Persian. Or is it Pakistani? Ghoulie is, I think it's Persian. I should have written this down. I'm a bad YouTuber. But ghoulies is, in another language, ghoulies means little monsters. So assumably that's where they got the word ghoulies from. Also, so this was in 1984, and in 1986, Critters was released, and Critters is also about these adorable little killer alien creatures that they look like fluffy Muppets also. But so the film Critters had a scene where one of the critters pops up out of the toilet, and that was an homage to the Ghoulies movie, because like I said, the Ghoulies movie kind of started off this movement. So Critters did like a nod to the Ghoulies movie. And if you do watch this movie, you may recognize one of the actresses that is one of the friends at the parties and stuff. This movie was Mariska Hargitay's film debut. And she, if you recognize the name and I didn't butcher it, is Olivia from Law and Order SVU. So this was her first movie, and she was in it. So there's your trivia. There is the movie. And the H reveal, let's just do that now so I can get, because I brought in the movie cases instead of showing you guys pictures of it. I'm sure you've already guessed, but the movie for my next movie, which is H, is going to be Halloween. And I am going to watch the Rob Zombie Halloween, because if you didn't know, I am a huge fan of Rob Zombie. I do like his music. I like Rob Zombie and White Zombie, but I love him as a director. Like, I'm pretty sure I own every movie he's directed except for Lords of Salem, and I plan to get that also. Like, I really love his directing a lot. And I have both of the Halloweens, so I will probably do a double feature again next week and watch both of those. So that is my H movie. Now, let's talk yarn if you are still with me this long after like almost 20 minutes. So I have been doing a granny square blanket with solid granny squares. I do believe I have a link in the description box for the tutorial I did if you're interested in how I do mine. I have been using, and I had to bust this open today, Karen Jumbo in the color, I think it's plum copper. Yeah, plum copper. And because what I'm making is a Halloween blanket. It's not themed per movie, but it's one project that I'm working on. And since I'm doing all horror movies, I'm doing a Halloween blanket. So I had gotten, isn't it funny how in your mind, like I gotten these so long ago, I thought I bought like a ton of them. It turns out I only bought 3. So I've got this one that I've started using and then one more. So hopefully that's plenty to do everything I want to do, because I don't know if they sell this color anymore or not. I can't remember if I got it on a clearance sale or not, or just a regular sale. Guess I need to look into that because I want to use this on like everything. But so I'm using that, and then I am bordering the squares with 3 different colors that I feel are kind of Halloween-y. There is, I have 2 of these Big Twist Classics, one in this color, which is called Violet, but it is like this deep electric purple color, which I feel is pretty witchy, Halloween and witchy colored. And then this one right here is also a Big Twist Classic, and it is in the color, it's either orange or pumpkin. I think it's orange. It is orange. So that is also one. And then this one over here is the color Lime, but it's in a discontinued Big Twist Rainbow color. But basically there's no difference. Like they clearanced these out and then they started carrying these. And they're both considered bulky 5s. And to me, there's basically no difference in any of them. So I'm using them together as my border colors. And it's very stuffed into my Bon Jovi bag. That's definitely going to be for a smaller project next time when I get this one done. I am doing the border in just a Red Heart with Love black, because I have a bunch of these left over from a sale. And I'm doing a continuous join on these these squares, which I also have a tutorial for, and I will link down below. But so far, I have this. Here's the full length of it, all the way over here. It's going to be quite the blanket, but I want it to be big and snuggly and lovely. So I have this. And then today, I finished these 2 squares again. So they'll be next in line. And I'll probably join them and do another square next week, or next 2 weeks from now. And I know I've shown these before, but I have these little ghost appliques that I have another Red Heart with Love sparkle that I made. I believe I put the link for these down below too. But I made these guys. And then I made a slightly bigger version. And then still have yet to put eyes on them, but I made an even bigger version of them. With just different hook sizes, and I think I doubled the yarn on the bigger ones too. And my plan for these is like in random spots where the blanket meets in the corners, I'm going to put a little ghosty. So I thought that would be pretty cute. Obviously I haven't gotten to that part yet, because I'll probably wait till the end and then place them like where I want them at the very end and sew them on. So that is my project. That is everything that I have to say. I hope you guys didn't mind me babbling on about this. You can tell the movies that I like super have like a fond memory for and stuff, because I tend to babble on pretty excitedly about them, or you know, whatnot. But I know I babble a lot anyway. But anywho, yeah, definitely check out the other people that are doing this. The hashtag part in my video title should be blue, and if you click on that, it'll take you to the hashtag where anyone else who's used that hashtag will show up there, I believe. And you can just see like what other people are working on. Some people are doing like a project with different colors each week in the same project from their movies to remind them. Some people are doing amigurumi for each movie, which is awesome and crazy at the same time. Some people are doing like a square for each movie.
other people are doing whole projects and stuff like mine and just working on it during that. So yeah, there's a little bit of like everything. So definitely check those out if you're so inclined. And if you want to watch along with me next week, like I said, I'm going to be watching the Rob Zombie Halloween movie. And I think that's everything. And I'm just going to let you guys go. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for talking 80s horror movies with me. Like, you guys are the best. Yarn and 80s horror, perfect. We should all hang out and just watch movies together and crochet, and that would be awesome. So anyway, stay safe, guys. I love you so much, and I will talk to you later. Mwah. Bye, everybody.